Hello everybody and welcome back to KSP POV, where we play Kerbal Space Program in first person. So today we are going to be doing a very similar mission that we did on Friday, where we resupply a space station. However, today we are going to be going to M.A.C.H in order to do that. And we have a slightly different craft as we are going to be piloting in POV. And our series just doesn't have the network satellite communications that KXP do. So, unfortunately, we are going to have to crew this mission. So we made a few slight changes to the design, namely being this cupola module right here, where our Intrepid pilot will be flying today. We also added a few extra boosters with some asparagus staging in order to help with the added weight that we'll be dealing with there. But other than that, the mission will remain the same. I will kind of guide you through how I go through the rendezvousing process with this craft in IVA, and I think it'll be a good time. So let's go ahead and bring this out onto the launch pad after taking one last look around just to see if we need anything. As we see here, I mean, it says 79 years and all this, but this will bring us the same amount of life support, so about 20 years or so. A little bit less because we are bringing an extra Kerbal to the station, but it kind of can't be avoided at the moment. So we are going to go ahead and, oh, Valentina, I appreciate the volunteering, but no, it is Agayuki, excuse me. Agayuki, it is your time to earn your stars. Let's go ahead and get you situated with color. I like, I think we're gonna go with this kind of like a little tealish. I don't know what color that would be, but that color, kind of like that. All right, so we are good. Let's go ahead and get you a helmet as well. All right, so we've got you all set in the cockpit. We don't need to bring any cargo with us. We will keep our parachute just in case we need it when we re-enter her into the atmosphere whenever we deal with her rescue. But for now, let's go ahead and get this out on the launch pad. And we're gonna start off here early in the morning. Gonna time warp ahead just a little bit so we can get a little more daylight as we go. But by starting so early in the morning, that'll give us the nice amount of sunlight when we circularize. So be nice, we get a nice view of Kerbin. But then after that, we are going to have to work pretty hard to fix our inclination, as out here at the desert, it's a little unforgiving with where we end up our orbiting. So let's go ahead and hop in the cockpit. Agayuki, I will do my best not to butcher your name, but let's go ahead and get all of our situations situated. I want to make sure my action groups were set up correctly. Alright, yep, we're good. Okay. Alright, so we are going to get our orbit on display here. SAS on. We're going to want, let's put our vessel view there. Put our nav ball here. Rotate that once. And I believe we are good to go. Let's go ahead and get clearance. Well, a good chuckle to you two. Alright, let us launch. So, throttle up. And ignition. Passing the cloud layer, we're going to tip over just slightly. Oh, that's a lot more than slightly. Okay, we're just going to go for a flip here. And just pull back up. And act like that never happened. Nobody saw that. We're going to hit our prograde. Keep an eye on our apoapsis. We got some pretty intense engines on this, so it's not going to take us very long to reach our apoapsis. Here we are with some heating going on, and our side boosters are out. Oh, can't even keep track of everything. Alright, we got a clear separation, going too high. Oh, that is way too high. 180 on our apoapsis? Yeah, I should have killed my throttle once we dropped our side boosters. But nonetheless, we will be reaching space today. We can already start to see. Alright, let's go ahead and get ourselves ready. We are going to use a combination of our screens and other things. I don't know. Why is that not going down? There we go. There we go. Let's go ahead and use M.A.C.H to start with. We're going to circularize at the next apoapsis. That looks about correct. And then we are going to use Rotex flight computer. There we go. Plot that in. You can use M.A.C.H to execute next node, but I prefer flight computer's accuracy. However, if you're not playing with remote tech, it's just that option right there. Essentially does the same thing, but nonetheless. Alright, so we don't need this screen. I want to go back to this one. Altitude is 120, yeah. Yeah, typically I like to circularize up here right at 120. But not the case today. So excited. It's been a little bit since I've done a rendezvous mission in IVA mode, and especially since I didn't especially it's been an especially long time since I've done it without using kind of auto rendezvousing. I believe I did it once in the Alcor pod to show off how that could auto rendezvous, but it's another thing to do it in person. Manually, I should say. Anyways, we are time warping closer to our apoapsis and getting ready to do our maneuver. 1700 Delta V. Believe we are going to be staging. There we go. And drop those off. Yep, we can see him separate there. Nice clean separation. Excellent. 800 Delta V left to go. We have ourselves a slight spin. We had to, if you use the Pila engine, you have to really turn down the gimbal on it. And this is already turned down, but we still have a bit of a wobble. And there we go. It's just that easy to get to orbit. We still have a decent amount of fuel in our tank. We have 19%. Not a lot, but it should be a good amount to get started. So we are going to kill flight computer for now. Then now it's time to make our way out to Mintz. So, oh, actually that's the vessels. We'll deal with that later. Let's go Mintz first. And as we take a look at our information here, I love this screen. I love how much information it gives you about both planets or your targets and the relative information. So our relative inclination to it is 43.016 degrees, which is tremendous for the average Kerbal player. At the typical KSC, it's only about 6. You're only about 6 degrees off, but this is going to be a lot more significant. And we're not going to do this in map mode. I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how to do it through the screens. Once we get to Mintz, we may forgo that because that craft also has a pretty awful inclination. So we'll work on that when we get there. But let's go ahead. We're going to point ourselves normal because I do believe that we are closer to the descending node. Yes, there we are. Alright, so once we get pointed where we want to be, we are going to time warp a little closer to the descending node, and then adjust our inclination from there. We may have to do it twice. We may have to go through several passes just because it's so high, but we shall see. So at 3 minutes to go, we're going to stop our time warp. We're still pointing in the right direction. We're going to just test to see if we're in the right direction. Yep, so our relative inclination is going down. That's good. Alright, so it's actually going to be quite a bit, so I think I'm going to burn it at the 2-minute mark. That may be a lot, but we'll see. Alright, so we're going to keep burning, and we're going to probably kill our engines and reapproach this several times. And just try to fix... Oh! Is that out? Yes, it is. Alright. Clear that. There we go. Yeah, we may have to do this in several passes, but we'll get there. Well, I'm not entirely sure why. Yeah. Centricity is very low. I'm not sure why, but it's not letting me get any closer than that 5 degree relative inclination. So we are just gonna go ahead and try our best for a pass. Let's go ahead and let's see what whoops. See what Astrogator can give us. Time till burn 4 minutes. Let's see what kind of maneuver that points us to. This is a mod called Astrogator, which automatically plots your transfers. It doesn't give you very precise coordinates, so maybe we can actually fine-tune this a little bit before we plot it in. So it's going that way. We want to make sure that we come in and go in the right way. Alright, this is kind of the best that we can get for right now, and we're going to just do a mid-course correction and flip our direction, so also so we don't just impact the min-miss, but we're going to flip it so we're going this way. But let's plot that for now. 857 delta V, or 1334. It's not a lot. Not gonna lie, I am a little nervous about that. And there we go, we have our transfer. So now it has another maneuver plotted in, but we're actually going to get rid of that. Alright. That maneuver's in 19 days. That maneuver's in 1 day. So I think that's the correct one to go. Sometimes if you click the wrong course, you will deeply regret it. Okay, so let's get ourselves... no, this is sat placer. This is what we want. Mintz International Science Station. There you go. That looks good. We'll be able to circularize going relatively the same direction and then just kind of pivot. Hopefully that won't take a lot. Oh, oh, oh! Oh, no, no. What are you doing? What are you doing? Kill. Stop. Stop. You ruined all my plans. What was that? Get out of here. Oh, are you kidding me? Gookie. Oh, what'd you do? Alright, let's see. Let's bring that back. Bring that back a little bit. We have to work on getting another encounter. Because we are running out of... We're running out of options here. Oh no. Oh, we do not have the Delta V for this. Oh, what happened there? Flight computer, are you responsible for this? Did I put my trust in you faultily? Agayuki, what do we do? Well, it would appear that we have no choice except to bring her out into solar orbit. We don't have the Delta V to prevent this. The best thing we can do is get out here into solar orbit and see what else our options are. Oh, it also would help to extend the solar panels before we just completely lose it. Oh, Agayuki, I'm so sorry. I take responsibility for this, this blunder. Let's see you out into deep space. And with that, she becomes the first Kerbal in the Janus Project within the orbit of the sun. Oh, right there. Eve, I see ya. We're gonna try to see you soon, with a probe at least, but we may be seeing you soon with Agayuki. Unfortunately, we don't have the Delta V for that either. So let's see if we can get her back home. The great thing is she has life support for 50 years, 272 days. There is no recyclers on here, so unfortunately she could still die of toxicity, poisoning, or other things of the like. But I think for now we are going to... Well, no, not just yet. We won't go quietly into that good night. Let's see, what are our options? Okay, that's not too bad. Right there. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we can do with this. Pull it down a little faster. Okay, so our separation's starting to slow down, so let's bring a little radial into there. Okay, so we have an interception here. It's only 26.5 meters per second. Focus our view on Kerbin. Where does that put? Puts it right there. Okay, let's bring that in a little closer. Okay, that's close. You know what? It doesn't need to be that close. It doesn't need to be that close. I can just circularize. In fact, it may be better if it's not that close. Can we zero that out? Okay. If we were to, okay, so that's 31.2. If we were to add another maneuver here and circularize, how much would that be? Right down to 1 second here. That's not okay. So that's. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Ruined it. All right, we're gonna try that again. We're gonna get that situated. That was a good. We could do that. We can get her back. Hold, please. All right, we're gonna take that. I do want it solidly within the sphere of influence. All right, negative 33. All right, that looks good. You know what? We're gonna just make those nice and easy. Negative 20, negative 33. That is our rescue plan. It's gonna happen in 20 years, 227 days. If today's episode had gone according to plan, we would have restocked the space station for that long. It would have been fine in 20 years, 227 days. We would have gone out and sent them another set of fuel, another set of supplies. But instead, this is the card that we are dealt. But nonetheless, we are going to make the best of said situation. Let's go ahead and plot this into Flight Computer before I forget. And yes, we are going to trust Flight Computer with this. So we are pointed, or will be pointed, towards our target. We are not a lot of fuel left, but the maneuver is not going to take very much to do, and it'll be good to be able to circularize with the rest of the fuel that we have. So, one thing I should actually do before we go. How is our burn time? 1.9 seconds. Alright. Our burn time is much too low to feel comfortable with, so unfortunately we are going to need to turn that down. Get rid of that. We are going to need to turn that down. So as per rules of the POV challenge, we do everything IVA, and unfortunately I don't have a throttle limiter in this IVA, a way to limit the amount of thrust that goes through. So we are going to do what we do, and that is, unfortunately I can't unclip myself, so we are going to EVA Agayuki. Wish her the best of luck as she makes her way down to the engine bell. Look at all that life support and fuel and food and oxygen and water, as well as some waste. All of that is going to keep her sustained while she waits. Oh, hi solar panel, excuse me. All of that is going to keep her sustained while she waits for her daring return. Hopefully she doesn't have to rely on the rescues from her colleagues. She can just bring herself back to safety on her own. Alright, here we are at the engine bell. We are close enough, meaning that theoretically our Kerbal could work on it. So she chooses. Ooh, please just kill out your velocity, please, please. Okay, I'll take it. Oh, so scary. Alright, so we are going to limit our throttle. Oh, I have no communication. Send that on. Okay, because I don't have people. Alright, anyways, we're going to say that we did that. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a little shot for posterity as we go back inside. We're gonna call that good, and we're gonna say that she messed with it and did all the things that she needed to do to lower the throttle on that. And we are going to let her strap back in and call it a day. That is not nearly good enough to risk my life for. I was trying to get a nice shot, but that is not worth it. We are in deep space. We cannot risk. We cannot risk it. Oh, we're not even looking straight. There we go. If we bounce off this craft and lose control and lose it entirely, we're toast. Grab. Board. Sit down. Confirmation from mission control that we are indeed still on target. So our burn time, my heart is racing. Our burn time is now 15 seconds, which is more than slow enough to be relatively accurate. So let's go ahead and put that back into flight computer. Execute. And we are also going to put that into alarm clock if we have it. Alright, so we've got our alarm, 20 years, 220 days. Pretty sure that matches up. Well, with all the systems turned off, or as turned off as they can be, we still got text on the screen. Agayuki is going to go ahead and buckle herself in for the long haul, keep herself entertained for the next 20.5 years. But she will come back a hero, as she is indeed the first Kerbal in solar orbit, achieving us the milestone for that. In the next episode, I'm not sure what we're going to do, how we're going to handle it. We may end up recreating this mission, and I'll just give you the highlights from that at the beginning of the episode and then focus on something else. Or if we find a better, safer way of doing it, we may make that the episode. But either way, we are going to have to start scrambling if we want to keep up with the KXP crowd and start sending our own probes out interplanetary. But anyways, that is where I'm going to leave today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're looking forward for more KSP POV. If you did think about subscribing, drop me a like, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.